My name's Adora Svitak. I'm 15 years old, and I'm a magic maker. I'm the founder of TEDx Redmond, which is an independently organized TED conference here in the Seattle-Redmond area specifically for young people. It's been happening for 3 years now, and what makes it awesome is that I work with a committee of entirely young people to organize this event. We do get help from adults, but they're not the formal organizers like most conferences that you see. Most of the audience members you'll see walking around will be my age, older and younger, because we're oriented towards youth, and all of our speakers, every single one is 19 or under. That is a level of youth involvement that I think like no other conference has really matched. The reason that I started this kind of peculiar line of work, you might say, it really had a lot to do with my beginnings as a writer and someone who cared deeply about youth voice. So when I was 7, I wrote this book called Flying Fingers, and long story short, that launched a career that involved teaching and writing more, as well as giving these speeches. And at TED in 2010, I gave one called What Adults Can Learn from Kids. It received about 2 million views. And one thing I learned was that people really want to hear the voice of children and will listen to what we have to say. But I also learned a second thing. And that's that the age diversity at some of these conferences, places like TED, no matter how open-minded and awesome they are, it's always going to be skewed in the favor of those who are older, more established. Basically, there weren't that many other 12-year-olds walking around at the TED conference. So I started TEDx Redmond as a way to really give back to my generation, to give us a platform and a voice, one that I had felt so lucky to receive. And that's an explanation of how I started really doing that work around youth voice and TEDx Redmond. Being able to use social media to educate people means a tremendous amount to me because I see it as the new forum for communication. I also see it as a huge democratizer. If we think about social media and the amount to which it's given everyone a voice, whether you're a teenage girl singing about the awesomeness of that day of the week called Friday. Okay, maybe that's not such a great example in favor of social media, but on the flip side, it can democratize in the sense of allowing you to have an impact. Before it used to be that sure, you could have an impact if you were rich or you were a philanthropist, a humanitarian aid worker or something, but if you were a teenage kid who didn't have a whole lot of pocket money to spare to donate to your favorite cause, what could you really do? Maybe volunteer, but if your interests are more global, then you were sort of screwed. Now today, with social media, with something like a like, a share, sending a link, getting followers online, raising money, World Food Program's free rice, you don't have to donate anything, but you can still really help out with this issue of solving world hunger. These are countless examples of how social media is democratizing our ability to make a difference. And so I see that as a tremendously good thing. Along with the ease of content creation, maybe Friday wasn't the best example. My future plans are to continue using social media in powerful ways. I really want to continue that, to give voice to other young people. It's something I want to do throughout not only high school, I'm in my junior year, but also when I go to college. I plan on writing some more books. I'm working on a nonfiction project, also possibly starting a nonprofit, continuing my work with TEDx Redmond and organizing that further, making it more sustainable. My friends and family say that I'm dedicated, ethical, that I'm a thinker, unusual, quirky, intelligent, curious, and I hope nothing bad. But I can't be positive. And I think that the next generation of young innovators my age are going to steal my dad's words, die eventually. But on a less grim note, I think that that is actually something to keep in mind because one of my favorite quotes is Richard Dawkins, to paraphrase since it's a pretty long quote, he's basically talking about mortality and how we should be not, instead of being ungrateful and thinking, oh, we're going to die soon and dreading that, we should consider it ourselves so lucky that we are going to die, that we are among the ones who can die instead of the unborn millions of possible persons, because the fact that we're here at all and have the chance to go out there and do things, that is the greatest privilege of all. And so it was a really interesting way to say we're privileged to be here. And it leads me to my thought, which is that the future innovators aren't just going to solve problems that can be addressed with great science, with great medicine, with great technology, with great writing even, or with great just about any kind of solution you might think of. They're also going to be far more abstract. We're going to solve moral problems. We're going to take on moral imperatives and really help out humanity in broad ways. I think that now in the 21st century, you'll often hear things like, why does blank happen? It's the 21st century. And I feel like we're maybe the first generation that has this greater moral awareness across the globe because of things like social media, because of things like really being connected to each other. So hopefully we can finally start to work together as a global community to solve big social moral problems as well. Thank you.